I just wanted to do a quick little introduction to my upcoming video that you're just about to watch. Now, many of you already know my friend Huna Flash, or his proper Huna name is Mauta Kumara Taki. I always butcher that a bit, but most of you know him as Huna Flash. But for those of you that don't know him, Huna is a Maui elder, a shaman of light, and founder of the House of Huna. Now, this discussion was a really, really important one because Huna really focused in on how, when we shift our attention to service to others, everything in our life can change. And we talk about how that links into having an abundance of health, wealth, friendships, prosperity, whatever that abundance looks for you, but also how we can really be of service to other people that are suffering from some of the awful things, from the planetary healing of whatever the cause is, through the fires and floods that have been going on for quite some while. I really hope you'll find this as fascinating as I did. Huna includes a really lovely heart-centered prayer that we can all use on a daily basis. Lots of wisdom, practical advice, and different perspectives in this. So please do let us know what you think. And I absolutely love the interview. I really hope you do too. So I just wanted to say that today's episode is sponsored by Asea redox signaling molecules. Now, it comes in two forms, the liquid and the gel, plus there's a huge other product range for us. But why did I start taking Asea, and why is it now an integral part of something that my whole family, both four-legged and two-legged, take every single day? Plus also something that all the clients I work with, again, four-legged and two-legged, it's number one on my priority list. Well, part of what I do, what I'm passionate about, is understanding the challenges that are affecting each and every one of us in today's modern living. The more you know, the more sometimes you wish you didn't know, but the pollution in the air, in the water, in the food, the control of our minds, the propaganda. But one of the things that we can do is take back responsibility for our own health. Now, every single cell of our body, whether we're an animal, whether we're one of the dogs in the backgrounds or one of my plants, contain these redox signaling molecules. And cellular health and cellular communication is absolutely key, whether you want to get your body back in balance, whether you want to reverse the aging process, whether you want to address any particular challenges that you've got physically, emotionally. It all starts with healthy cells. If your liver cells are healthy, your liver's healthy. If your brain cells are healthy, your brain's healthy. But just like a mobile phone, most of us have got mobile phones that we use on a routine basis now. But that mobile phone, regardless of whether you've got the latest model, is completely useless without a signal. So what does this technology do? The gel is something that you can apply topically over particular areas of concern, whether you want your skin to look better, whether you've got cellulite, whether you've got an area that's causing you a challenge. The liquid is something you drink each and every day to top up what should be in your cells anyway. But when our bodies are stressed, diseased, challenged, or as we age, we make less of them. So personally, I wouldn't be without it. My sleep's better, my energy levels are better, my mood's better, my mobility's better. If you want to find out more, the details are below. But I'm so grateful that this came into my life, and I'm so grateful I can share it with others. I hope you love it as much as I do. Let me know. Right, I am back tonight with a long overdue chat with my lovely friend Huna Flash, or Huna Mauta Kumara Taki. I'm going to let you introduce yourself because I cannot pronounce your name, Huna. But we've got
the way you say it. It's fine.
Yeah, we've got quite a few new listeners, Huna, and I did want to introduce you properly, but actually I want you to introduce yourself because what you do is very, very unique. So before we get into our discussion today about what's going on with the world, the planet, about how we step into an abundance mindset and out of the fear mindset, I'd love you to tell our listeners a little bit, for those of you that actually don't know you, a little bit about yourself and your work.
Well, thank you very much. Let me just say welcome to all of your audience, your as I say, sweet, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. This is how I greet the world when I come on here. And I want to thank you, Huna, for opening this conversation up again. It's been a minute, and I'm grateful to be here. There is much to, let me just say, there's so much to be joyful and happy about. Really, there is. Not to say that you shouldn't pay attention to what's going on around you in your environment, but I will urge the sweet, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds, to focus on the very simple things, and not a matter of losing your mind and moving into your consciousness. Allow your brain to still be very active and resourceful. Okay. So allow your brain to be resourceful. You have an incredible brain and mind, heart, mind, and allow that, and let the messaging come in, let it all come in to reorganize, so you can organize things. You're really good at it. You may not remember, but you're really good at it. And there are some people, some beings, some wonderful angels on the planet, like Huna here, Catherine, who can help you organize. Myself, I come from a lineage of, I come from a tribal nation, a nation of many people, of the ways, and in the ways of our traditional tribal protocols and diplomacy. This is something that is ingrained in myself, and we espouse to be with, even from the ancient times to the new ancient times now. So the number one, I think the first thing I want to invite you, the sweet, sweet dear ones, is to be with your ancientness, and be with your ancient lineage, and be with your ancient tribes. Okay, at this time, because within those tribes and within those memories and lineages is your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your ancestors who took care of you and had your highest interests at heart. For the most part, I was born and raised in New Zealand. I'll even say 1964, if that'll help it out. And I was awakened at a very young age. And what I mean by awakened is like at 7 years old. What I mean by that is I've been connecting to the energies in the field and speaking to the energies and tasting the elements in my mouth. Eating the mud and the rocks and all the foods and tasting all the things, connecting to everything in a very, very, very deep way, even at a young age. Let me just advise that, suggest that for you, that you return to tasting the things in a deep, deep way, feeling the things in a very deep way. So I was raised in, I was tutored in the ways of the Maori, because I am Maori, and we are legendary for the things that we do. But also, this is my identity. So what I'm saying is, if you can return to the identity, even if you've been here many lifetimes, okay? If you can return to a moment where you may remember joy, or even return to your grandmother, your grandfather, your great-grandparents, and how they were sharing information to you. All of the cultures in Europe, from the European descent, are of the tribal ways, and were let me say, punished for being of the tribal ways. Because what's happening now is certain tribes are trying to overrun you. They can call themselves monarchies. They can call themselves elite. They can have all the money in the world and all the resources in the world. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. What matters is that you get together, community-wise. If somebody likes you, be with that person and become allies together. As I was raised in this way, I was tutored in many modalities of healing, energy, the cosmos, the galactic, and it was kind of easy segue for me to move into mission. It was quite simple for me to move into to my self mission and be of service beyond self because of that. So I will advise that also, to be of service beyond self. What can you live with in this world in a very simple way to get you by and get you over the next bumps? You're going to have to take this a step at a time. That's how it was in the ancient times. You took it over the seasonal periods, over the cycles of let me call it seasons of love. Mm. Through the seasons of love, you will find your way back. You will find a safe place to be. You will be not only recognized and not only seen, you will be felt and you will be liked and you will be invited in to a larger group who are of this mind, who are of this alignment. And so the European families had incredible lineages. Are you kidding me? The German people of the original Reich, which is the original Reich, was an elder of the community who took care of the diplomacy with all the politics of the day, and you had a council that formed, the people could form around, and they had the tribe and the village's interests at heart. That's really at the core of our being as humans here on this earth. We will never get away from that. They try to push us away from that, but we keep coming back to that, even in this modern world today. And as you are making your way and journeying towards this your wonderful family, and remembering, and in ancient families that remember you from a long time ago, you just need to get together and find each other again, and abundance will be taken care of in a very simple way. What do you need? What is abundance for you? You know, you don't need a mansion. Wanting a mansion is one thing, needing it is another thing. At this time, I'm talking about taking things a step at a time. Okay? Building your communities, let me say, one Huna at a time. Mm. One very powerful source of energy from within the family, one source energy at a time, till there is many who will be happy to house you, happy to take care of you, happy to feed you, because you're in these lineages together. You know, there were many stories of our lifetimes. And it has been said over the last few years that, we don't need to worry about the stories, and I need to clear my lineage and all this, you know, clearing the lineage doesn't mean you toss all the knowledge out the window. You know,
I want to ask you about that. I want to ask you about that, Huna, because that's really important. I must say your video's freezing a lot, but we can hear you okay. So it's just your video, your picture's not in sync, but that's okay. We can still hear the message. I want to just pick up on that, because that's really important point. Well, loads of important points, but the community and the lineage, and not throwing out the lessons learned, you know, sort of keeping what serves you and getting rid of the rest. Can you talk a little bit more to that? Because that's a very important distinction for people.
How are we doing? We still okay?
Yeah, good. Yeah, just your video's a little bit behind your voice, but that's okay. We can hear the message fine.
Yes, so keeping all the wisdom and knowledge, and undoing, and allow a certain level of undoing to take place, where you can undo and disconnect from the emotional energies and the, let me say, the tears of a dragon and allow those to just dissolve, but can keep the knowledge and the wisdom. Because, you know, the elders are very important at this time.
Mm.
The leaders of nations and the leaders and chiefs and chieftains and priestesses of the tribe and of the family are very important at this time. And so you, every little bit that you have learned along the way here, find what within that which will be of service as you go forward here. Now, there's so much knowledge and lessons we have learned. Gee, where do you start with all of this?
Mm.
Right? I mean, okay, so if we're just talking about money and finances and economics, again, a new system is becoming available, is presenting itself. It's actually a new ancient system whereby value is being returned versus quantity. Now that may be in a form, okay, of, let's just say, currency, money. Let me just pick on this for a second. It is significant. It's an energy. And it can be an abundance of energy that's highly valued now. So let's just say what's happening today is the value of the dollar is being supported by the value of gold.
Mm.
And what makes that really powerful is that the value of the dollar is, for $1 is going to be valued at $10 very soon. So what you would buy for $1, what you would used to buy for $10, you will now buy for $1. That is coming. I know that you and everybody here, sweet dear ones, have been watching the messaging in the matrix and the 3D and all of the these words, reset and global reset and new world order. Okay, I'm quite sure you know the difference between what's not going to help you and what's not going to serve humanity and what will. I trust you are paying attention to the many lies that are out there. I mean, there are those that are bringing forward the revaluation of currencies to support the family and the creation of life and to continue on and bring in abundance. So they're bringing value. And then there are those who are continuing to bring no value except for themselves and not and with no benefits to anyone else. Now I'm sure you know who those organizations and let me say governments and organizations, you know who they are. Okay. Do you think you can get by without them? Without all that nonsense? Of course you can. Of course you can. Do you really need the World Health Organization, who does not have your interests at heart? They've proven themselves. The banking system, that's proven themselves to be not of interest and no benefit to you.
So how can for people that were watching this to understand, and we've got obviously a very enlightened audience who's very in touch with a lot of things that are going on, but at the same time also there's a lot of worry when we also see some of the things that are going on about how do people step outside of that and recreate, because you know we've seen a lot of things go on in the outside world, Hawaii not to mention what's gone on in Maui, so there's a lot of still on both sides, wherever people are getting their information from any external source that is sent there to confuse people.
Yes, I think in the case of Maui, and then that's not the only place that has had fires.
Not at all, by a long shot. Yeah.
Now, so just to realize, sweet dear ones, fire comes along, doesn't matter how it comes. and it clears. Fire clears, and there is service here amongst the devastation. That these fires and that these deep state people, the nefarious ones, they don't realize they work for the light. Also, the people that that are in pain and suffering right now, they don't realize that there's actually more light coming to them. They won't see that because they're in the pain. And so I'm going to invite you all to look at things on and observe it, to be the observer and try to understand. You have to get a little bit of education here, people, with, let's just say, for not just to learn about Hawaiians, but all peoples, that we have to come together, and there is pain that brings us together. Ultimately, nobody wants to have to go through that. But let's just take Hawaii for an instance, right? It's not a state of the United States. It doesn't belong to the United States. It's an occupied territory, and they were trying to steal it from the sovereign people there.
Mm.
So that's a very unique situation, and there's not too many countries like that in the world on a small island, okay? So our Hawaiian families, I'm an elder of Hawaii, that the Hawaiians, the traditional people there, the original people there, they also are getting an awakening from this. They're beginning to learn what they need to do to take this beyond and take this to the levels where they can hold on to it and be more proactive. So are you going to be proactive? Are you going to go there? Are you just going to sit and watch and observe? Perhaps you are, or are you going to be proactive? You have a lot of education here too. There's a lot to learn here. It's not just like, how do I step out of this? You know, you can be in it, but not of it. I'd invite you to understand that deeper. You can be in it, but not of it. And myself and my organization, we do have systems and healing and energy modalities and missions, self-missions that allow us to be in it, but not of it, to be here, but not of that, to be able to come to peace with all of this going on, and then step into places where we understand that we can help.
Yes. So can I ask you about that? Because that's such an important point, Huna. I think that so many people are really wanting to really understand now where they can best put their own focus to be of most value. Can you offer some guidance for people when they're looking for that? Because there can be a danger of immersing yourself so much in knowledge and learning that you forget to take action.
Yes, absolutely. That's quite common. And then there's frustration, you know. Okay, so it is my job here on the planet to help and guide. Being asked, and who asked me? The elders, the ancient ones, the ascended ancient ancestors, said to me, go and share. So I'm sharing, and I have things to share that can help individuals and help them focus on what it is that that they may have not focused in on a long time, or haven't focused in on since you were a child.
Yeah.
Quite often things from your childhood is where you should return to and focus on that and create a living and a lifestyle around that, supporting that way in terms of the energy of the mission. Make it your mission. Okay, that's number one. That's very dedicated. It's not a job. Missions are not jobs, but missions will take your whole life, right? But missions will also send you on a journey that is magical, mysterious in a way. There are wonderful discoveries, and you're going to learn who you are. You're going to find yourself there. Now, what are the vehicles? What are these missions? What are these protocols and instruments. Well, whatever it is you do, you only need to be liked, not even loved, just liked. And if you are liked by somebody and they're like-minded, you're going to do things together. And perhaps you'll find a whole tribe of people you can do things together and create your mission. So create a mission. If you need help, you need to contact me directly.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some wonderful missions that are available to support the planet and society. And something I want to talk about in a moment of how that correlates to the timelines now and what's going on now. But we must take a look back. We must reverse and take a look back so we can see where we have been. You know the old saying, but just even for this moment, maybe we can talk about looking back and seeing where we've been, what has been, what have we achieved to date, and then coming back to this moment and changing directions.
Absolutely.
Okay. I myself, I'm just having a wonderful time on my missions on Earth. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a bloody great time. Okay? Now, I work for the planet in a very profound way. And I work for the planet in ways that support the energies of the planet. I did work with the body and the modalities of energy for the body and the human and ailments and healings and these things. And then I graduated to working for the planet as I see it, as it was shared with me. Perhaps you are a healer and a shaman. We do need you. And to make that even more important, if it's not 100%, I'm going to ask you to make it 111%.
Mm.
Needed. And when you connect to your healer here, as whatever shaman, whatever culture you are, expand it and continue that effort. This is going to take some courage, some bravery. Sweet, sweet dear ones, it's going to take you to be brave and to see the things, what's going on around you in the world, and allow yourself to see it on a much larger scale, like fire clears the weeds and cleans. It certainly does. How does it get there? It really doesn't matter how the fire comes, whether it was a direct energy weapon or whether it was the lightning bolt coming in. It doesn't matter because it clears off all manner of things that really don't serve. Really doesn't.
Just ask on that point, because when we're having these discussions, I know I'm not talking about you here, I'm talking about humanity in general, because I know you do work for the earth. But when we're talking about this, we so often as a human race forget about the impact of all the other species, both plant and animal kingdom, that these things impact. How do you reconcile that, Huna?
Things will grow back. This planet is magical. Everything will return. As long as I do my work and you do your work, we do our work, everything returns. It's not the first fire in history. And those, perhaps those, let's just say those homes and those cities and those towns that are in Lahaina could do, and I don't mean to be sounding mean here. I am not. I am an elder of those people. But things are burnt down. Things are cleared. For whatever reason, they are cleared and they're gone and they need to be rebuilt. Now, the ancient wisdom says we need to rebuild our cities and our towns and our villages to higher vibrations. Mm. Okay. Some of those buildings needed to go. I know, I've been to Hawaii. I spent a lot of time in Hawaii. Some of them can need to be cleaned up, and it's not going to be happy for anybody, especially those who own the property. But this is also revealing those elite, those deep state people. It's revealing so much right now. They are showing their face. This is my point. And so connecting to the mission and connecting to self-service beyond self, you have to step out of that, and you have to come to peace with it, and you step back while not stepping back. Step back in your consciousness for a moment. Okay, feel with your heart, and we feel for the people. But I think that most of us here who are connected and intuitive and connected to energy in some way or another, ultimately those things have to be rebuilt. No matter how they come, and no matter how they're laid flat. And the tears of the people will dissolve, will disappear, and will be resolved. And there is space, that there is a wonderful energy of light coming to fill that spot, because we, you and I, all of us are going to bring that in there. Am I on the right subject here?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just being distracted. If you're talking about missions, my mission, I've got all my little guinea pigs in the background here with me. So my mission is definitely the animal kingdom, and bridging the gap between the animals and the humans.
Yeah, you mentioned plants, and what are we doing with that? Now, there has been a complaint made by the planet. And there's been a complaint made by the planet as to the abuse of certain plants, the abuse of the forests, the abuse of the plant kingdom in its medicinal applications and its habitual applications and its entertainment. Not saying that Hawaii is where it needed to happen, but it's happening all over the world. Sweet dear ones. Forests are being burnt down and cleared out. Can I say that, oh, because we abuse these things, now the planet is deciding to clear it? I'm going to say that. This is a magical world. And in this world, in this planet, in this time of the highest light that's moving, very high light right now, very high energy right now, the moment something is said or asked for, bam, it happens. For myself and my mission, when I say something to do something, bam, it happens, and that's what I do. I expect the same of yourself, sweet dear ones, and I expect the same of this planet as a being, that if it's going to do something, it will. Bam, you can't stop it. It is sovereign. However, the fire comes, and the healing will return to the forest, and they will regrow again, and perhaps in a higher vibration, because sweet dear ones, this is the time of reclamation, but things have to be undone. See, some things on this planet in the vibration, lower earth realm levels have to be cleared. Not saying everything, but the places that are being cleared know who they are. I'm serious. Places that are carrying these energies of abuse and waste and habitual addictions are being cleared. It's so crazy that you look at Los Angeles and California with all of the immigrant and homeless population on the streets of California. How do I go? Well, it's being revealed, and they are being abandoned, and that abandonment will last only so long, and those streets will be cleared. Now, even for the homeless, they have to decide to get up, pull their socks up, put their pants on, have a shower, clean up, and ask the city and ask the forest and ask the planet, what can I do for you? Where can I be of service to you? Now, this is important, because if you're just focusing on what it is you need, you just might be stuck in that mode and so stressed out for the rest of your life. But if you can find it in your heart, sweet dear ones, I'm asking for your heart mind here. And I'm asking for your strength and your courage, not your whining. Excuse me. Okay. You can't whine about this anymore. You've had a chance. How many more? And you've had lessons. You know you've taken and you've been given. And you know you take. Have you taken enough? Or can you give some now? Right? Have you taken enough, and can you give back now? Are you at the place where you can do that? You don't need to give much, just some of your love and some attention. Clean somebody up. Go to the forest and clear the charcoal and the burn. Go and support those things. Those are good missions. Now, the people that we are focusing on that are causing all that have their intentions, just pay attention. Keep paying attention. Don't abandon your access to that information, however you're getting it. Don't just abandon it. Give yourself a break every so often. Don't abandon it. And then also speak to those that are working into the areas and are of service in the areas where we are bringing the physical to meet the spiritual world in the highest way, in the highest light, in the highest energy vibration for this planet. That is taking place right now. There is a reclamation happening. There is a regeneration happening, and it comes through fire. It does come through the fire, comes through the water. And so the plant kingdom will return. It always has. Just as an FYI here, this is planet number 5. You're going to say, Huna, what are you talking about? Planet number 5. We've only just been on this planet. What are you talking about? I'm referring to the advancement and the elevation and the progression of energies and vibrations and frequencies, and the light itself, and how that's also become more intense. You're going to say, well, isn't that the aluminium up in the sky and they're trying to block the sun? You can't block the sun. It's still above the clouds and it's still above the chemtrails. It's still there. You know what I'm saying? So access it, and you access it here. And so if the light has gotten more intense, if you can't access it, go here and you will access it. Okay? And then when you build it here, you build it by way of being of service beyond self. Connect to the planet, because the planet is now evolving into levels of higher dimensions and higher light. We say planet 5 because in the beginning, end, whatever, eternal, infinite, whatever, there was Tara, number 1. There was Maya, number 2. There was Sophia, number 3. There was Haya. You say Gaia, but pronounced as Haya. That's number 4. And now there is Matea, a new energy of light, source light. It is true. This is confirmed. And in the language that is being spoken is one that is pure crystal light language, Matea, planet of new light. Now, connect to that. When you connect to this understanding I share right here with you, I hope it has some sort of impact to bring you to service beyond self. Money or no money. Make things more simple for you.
I love it because, sorry, the delay. There's a delay between us. I absolutely love it. This service beyond self is absolutely crucial to every single person listening, because it's very, very difficult to remain in a fear and a lack vibration when you are in service to others, whatever your calling might be.
Yes. I'm going to share something with you if I can, Huna.
Yes.
With the sweet, sweet, sweet dearly beloveds. And I'm going to invite this for you. I'm going to gift this for you to use and be with, and to take it wherever you go, whenever anyone needs help with something, if you're in their current location or if it's remotely, and someone asks you for help somehow, and you feel like you don't have money to give them or shelter or something, I'm going to share this with you and invite you to take it with you and utilize it wherever you go. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes for a moment, Huna, and I'm going to just share this sound and this phrase. Hear the sound of my voice. Hear the sound of my voice, and you shall feel the hand of light receive the sound of my voice deeply, and you shall receive a hand of light. Receive the hand of light and place it on the heart. From the sound of my voice comes the hand of light. So shall all that does not serve and all that is in the shadows be held by this hand of light, so that the light will come instantly. From the sound of my voice comes the hand of light. Place this hand on your heart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, work with this modality, and you can even be flexible with it and adaptable and improvise with it. This is just a piece that you can build on and that you can offer somebody. It's more than a prayer. A long time ago, I was in Sedona. I was doing a workshop in Sedona, and this one gentleman came in and he just said to me, "I'm James. I'm the brother of Jesus." I said, "Oh, you're St. James?" He says, "Yes, I am." I said, "You look saintly. Thank you for being here." He said to me, "I've come here today because you visited me." He said, "I didn't see your face, but I know it's you." I said, "That's very good. Please share with me." He said, in his dream time, in his vision, a portal of light opened, like a stargate of light opened, and a big hand came through, grabbed a hold of him and pulled him into another reality, and then shut the light off. And he said, "That was you. You pulled me into a place of light." And that was years ago, 15 years ago, maybe a little less. And I remember that instant, that visual, and I realized that that's what we can do. That is something that we can all do. So I recorded this phrase for somebody who needed help. This person who needed help lives in Nashville. And so I recorded this piece and I sent that to my friend. And the response that came back from him was immense, incredible. It really helped. Perhaps you have, sweet, sweet dear ones, an inclination to do some things like this. I love working this way. I know I'm confirmed in what I do and who I am and what I serve, and I do service beyond self. I'm going to invite you to that and work with that phrase, and you let us know. Let Catherine know what happened.
Please.
Everybody has, yeah. Everybody here has someone that needs help.
Literally everyone does. And I think it would be really lovely if people can share in the comments below what their experiences are for that. Now, Huna, you have got, I mean, you've been very, very busy, your travels all around the world, but I would really like you to tell everyone about your event that you've got coming up very shortly, because this could be of some real help to a lot of people.
Yes, I'm happy to. My event that's coming very shortly is 5 days from September 13th to September 17th. A very special day in the middle of these 5 days is September 15th, which I have shared for the past couple of years, that this is when the solar flash will begin, will be seen and felt and witnessed. And so I have created the event spoken of as Ni Marana. And the Nimarana refers to the solar flash. Nimarana. And all tears will be cleared from this eternal light. That's what Nimarana means. And so I've shared that the solar flash is happening at that moment. And how do I come to this? Number one, September is the month that Jesus was born. Jesus, the teacher. I'm not talking about the Christ. I'm not talking about the crucifixion Jesus. I'm just talking about Jesus was born in September. Some say September 11th. Number two, September is the birth sign of the dove in the Lemurian calendar. It is the birth sign of the dove, and it is spring. Let me say first spring, because in the Northern Hemisphere, you have a spring in March. That's second spring. They're opposite. So in spring and September. Now, if you are in January and 9 months comes around, September is when the lamb is born, and you have the spring lambs being born at the end of September and October. So that is the lamb. So you have Jesus' birthday. You have the birth sign of the dove, which is represented with Jesus, and you have the lamb that's being birthed. And number four, the solar flash is the birthing of the crystal consciousness of pure light consciousness. That is birthing for us. That is, and number five, this is what I truly share, which is the true moment of Christmas, Christ Mass, crystal Mass, when all crystal beings will mass together. It is a mass of crystals. Probably a better way to say that. Okay, so there's 5 moments there. In order for you to understand what I'm talking about in terms of the Lemurian, you would have to, I have a School of Light where you can learn, I have ways for you to learn these things, but let me just say, this event is happening September 13th to 17th. Also, if you cannot attend that, you can also, on that same September 15th, we are going live with a guided meditation.
Wonderful.
Global meditation. It will be on StreamYard. You'll be able to either see us. Certainly, I'm going to invite you to wear headphones and sit by a tree and put some lights on a tree and sit by the tree. If you don't do that, that's fine. Sit at the beach and listen. But get yourself a moment. You can even put a group together and you sit around a tree with lights and just tune in. Put me on blast. Put me on blast on some speakers. Because I'm really going to guide this one in for a good run. It's going to be deep, and it's going to be just so looking forward to it. It's going to be so much light. Now, yes, this has been called for. I know many people talk about the solar flash, but I can share with you, these are the 5 reasons why. And also there, what is going to happen with that cosmic light, that light will go to a certain place as well. I'm going to share with you where the light is also heading to, not just within you, but within inside the Mauta, the planet. There is a location on the planet that has what is known as the seal. The planet has a seal where all cosmic light enters into the seal, into the inside of the planet. There are 33 volcanoes in a circle around this planet. And then around the Ring of Fire, there are 3 mountains that represent Lemuria and represent the primary star, which we call the primary building blocks of life. There are 3 mountains that represent that formation, and they are on the seal. So the cosmic light in the solar flashlight will be received through that seal. Now, those 3 locations are Mount Shasta, Mount Fuji, and Mount Taranaki in New Zealand. That is called the seal of Mauta. Okay, that is Lemuria. Now, you may live in these areas, so go ahead. Join us on September 15th. And understand that as I share this with you, I think you know this to be true. I have felt it in many hearts since I have been speaking of this, and I felt the heart expanding when I've shared it with others. You know this to be true. The alignment is pure. And so you can tune in. We have the links. Huna has the links on here. Going to have the links up for you.
I certainly will. As usual, everyone, all the links for all this will be in the description box below the video. So please, please, please. And I will also pin them in the comments in the chat once this goes up.
Now, we're going to be coming to everybody, sweet, sweet dear ones, from the island of the goddess, which is Cozumel in Mexico, the Yucatan. This is where Atlantis began. The first civilization of Atlantis when it was at its most peaceful. And so that's why I'm working there, and that's why I'm in the area. But just for your information, and if you want to come and visit us. I have some beds and accommodation available, very inexpensive, in a beautiful jungle setting.
Wow.
The event is on the Facebook, and you can see the pictures of the location in the jungle. It's a beautiful manicured area, large area, beautiful palapa, an outdoor kitchen, and a temescal for sweat lodge. And we're going to have 5 days of receiving the light and sharing the light. This is not a retreat. This is just us family getting together. What are you lost there, Huna?
Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of an issue with one of the guinea pigs, so I'm just keeping an eye out. I've got a new guinea pig, so
Nice.
take pride. Now, Huna, what Facebook group can they see those images on?
Yeah, just go to the events on Facebook. Go to the events and you'll see Nimarana Solar Flash. Now I have two events. One is the meditation and one is the event. You will find it, the images of the location are there. Like I said, if you're living not too far from Mexico, come on over. Well, if you want to. We're in beautiful hurricane season right now. And actually it's kind of crazy because the sea is so bright and blue and turquoise and the sand is so nice. I swim twice a day. I just came from there. That's why I'm kind of late. I just came from there.
Absolutely.
And yes, if you can manage it, don't whine about what they cost. Don't stress over things like this. Clear your heart, clear your mind, and just focus on it and figure out how to do it. Figure out how to do it. And your brain, let your brain figure the things out. Let your brain work. It's a computer. It knows how to figure things out. Knows if you have to get rid of something, if you have to sell something, just things that you don't even use, get rid of them. Get rid of the clutter in your life and just keep things simple. It may afford you one moment to go to do something like this or something else. Take a good look what you have in your closet, what you have in your garage, what you have in your home that can help you for a moment. Everything that you have and that you possess is there to help you, not for you to stress you out.
Yeah.
So let it help you. Don't let it stress you out. I don't care what it is. It could be an old cell phone, just whatever bits. Take a good look. It's just being resourceful. It's not about being cheap. It's not about being broke. It's not about being, oh, I can't do this. It's not about none of that. If you're smoking cigarettes, throw those things out because you know you don't need those. Come on. How are you going to help anybody if you're half dead and you can't even talk because you've got cancer in your throat? Throw those things away. Throw the alcohol away. You don't need that either. Wine, throw that out for a moment at least. Not just to come to my event, but to find something that you can be useful with. Okay, you got to be of these ways at this time. You know this. They're all trying to do some nasty things again. Yeah, don't listen to them. You know they're all lying. Lockdown this and variant that. What a bunch of bullshit. Excuse me. What a bunch of hogwash, because it's lies and they're just trying to trap you. Don't fall into it. You don't have to argue about it with anybody, but get what you need, what's around you, make it simple, and just continue to take care of yourself. As you're ready to do that, are you able to do that, then help somebody else out. By the sound of your voice, so shall come the hand of light.
Absolutely. There's so much we covered there today. Thank you so much, Huna. Now, all the links for all this will be below. Also, if you need more information, the link to get hold of Huna and his team will be below as well. Please make use of it. You know, now really is a time for us all to be following what our own divine purpose is. It will be different and unique for each of us, but it really is a time to start really looking at how we can give back, and when we all do that, everything moves forward. Any final words from you, Huna? That's been absolutely lovely today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloved. Tune into the House of Huna if you need help with something. We're quite happy to even chat. Stay on the light side, stay on the high side, okay? Be observant, but stay on the high side.
Such great advice. Thank you so much. Please let us know how this resonates for you below. Let us know any questions as well, because I'm sure we will be back on again in the not too distant future. And let's all join in that global meditation and really, really change the world. Thank you, Huna. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everyone who's been watching. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. And if you feel inspired, please do share with your friends and family. My goal is to inspire as many people as I can to live their best lives, to stay curious and to raise their consciousness and that of the collective. So to do this, I need to reach as many people as possible, and this needs your help. If you feel drawn, would you be willing to share your favourite episode with 5 different people? This helps us spread the word and also helps me encourage some exciting new guests to take part in this podcast. If you feel drawn to do that, I will be very, very grateful. All the links and discount codes where applicable for all the products that I support are on my 2 websites, catherineedwards.life and catherineedwardsacademy.com. All of the products are personally tried and tested by me, my family, and my clients. And finally, please do press the follow or subscribe button, depending which platform you're listening on. And above all, stay curious and stay free.